Okay, now we're doing the review for section 6-1, and we have to compute this integral. So, the integral of 5e to the z, we know the integral of e to the z is just e to the z, so that's going to be 5e to the z plus 4 and z plus c, and we're done with that. Let's do another one. Let's do number 2. The integral of 3 root x plus 2 over root x dx. And that equals the integral of 3x to the 1/2 plus 2x to the negative 1/2 dx. And now that equals 3x, and we add 1 to 1/2, and we get 3/2. But we don't have a 3/2 here, so there must have been a factor of, let's see, there must have been a factor of 2/3 there. And plus, now 2, and we'll add 1 to negative 1/2 and get 1/2. But there, if we took the derivative of that, we'd have to bring that 1/2 down. There isn't a 1/2 there, so there must have been a 2 there. And plus c. So that equals, let's see, here the 3's will divide out, and we get 2x to the 3/2 plus 4x to the 1/2 plus c. And we're done. But keep in mind, in case you're at all confused, when you take the integral of x to the n dx, what you get is x to the n plus 1 and times 1 over n plus 1 and a plus c, the unknown constant. Is when you take the derivative of this, bring that down, those divide out, and you reduce the exponent by 1, don't you? Anyhow, we're done. Okay, here we have question 3, and it says the monthly sales of an SUV model are expected to decline at the rate of s prime of t equals negative 24 t to the 1/3 SUVs per month, where t is time in months, and s of t is the number of SUVs sold each month. The company plans to stop manufacturing this model when monthly sales reach 300 SUVs. If monthly sales now, at time equals 0, are 1,200 SUVs, find S of t. How long will the company continue to manufacture this model? Well, to find S of t, we simply take the derivative of what we're given, and that'll be the integral, or not the derivative, I beg your pardon, the integral of negative 24 t to the 1/3 dt. And so that's going to equal negative 24, and we'll increase the exponent by 1, so that'll be 4/3. And we need a coefficient here of 3/4 because plus c, because when we take the derivative of that, the 4/3 has to divide out, so the coefficient must have been 3/4, and 4 goes into 24 6 times, so this equals 3 times 6 is 18 minus 18 t to the 4/3 plus c. Now we're also given the information that at time 0, so S of 0 equals, there were 1,200 SUVs. So we'll look at S of 0 here equals t, letting t be 0, we get plus c, or c, and since S of 0 equals 1200, then c must be 1200. So S of t then will replace c with 1200 equals negative 18 t to the 4/3 plus 1200. Now let's keep going. We have to, we know now that S of t, I'll rewrite that, equals negative 18 t to the 4/3 plus 1200. So we were asked to find that. Now they said, how long will it take for them to stop production, or how much longer are they going to be producing these things? And they're going to stop when S of t is 300. So we'll let S of t be 300. That is, we have negative, or excuse me, I'll do it this way. We have 300 equals negative 18 t to the 4/3 plus 1200. Well, I'll subtract 300 from both sides, and we'll add this term to both sides. So we have 18 t to the 4/3 equals, and subtracting 300 from 1200, we get 900. Now let's divide both sides by 18. And t to the 4/3 then equals, let's see, 9 goes into 18 twice and into 900 100 times, and 2 goes into 150. So that means t to the 4/3 equals 50. Solving for t will raise both sides to the 3/4 power. And multiplying 4/3 times 3/4, we get 1, and the 1's understood. And here we have a 3/4. And when we evaluate that, we get 18.8 years, and we'll round that up to approximately 19 years. And good, we've got it.